Okay. So does anyone have anything they'd like to share or comment on or ask any questions this morning?
Yes, I wanted to thank you for the teachings today, and then also what you shared about like today being a blessed day. You talked about today feels like kind of like a blessed day and the energy. And that was really helpful for me, like connecting with that feeling. And you'd also had us just notice how it felt to do the form from that place and feeling the lineage. And that was also super helpful. And it felt like I could feel Master Chin more clearly than before. And it felt like he was, as you said, he was like doing the form in me. And I feel like for the first time, I felt like him. Like I felt like an old man, but in a really good way. Like it felt really good to be an old man in that way. And like it just felt lazy also in a really, really good way. Like the laziest I've ever felt. But it felt really good. And like it's hard to describe, but like it really just didn't, like it's not that it was effort, didn't require effort. It's like that wasn't even a concept, like that wasn't even relevant. And it just felt really kind of nourishing. And then I also felt kind of other aspects of the lineage, and it felt like it was connecting me. And I know about this and I've read about this, but actually like felt like it was connecting me to the energy of different stars, which I know there's practices for, and I know that stuff influences us, but I've never really felt it in my actual practice as like a relevant constituent. But actually it felt like the energy of the stars was like helping me and moving me, and like but kind of receiving it. So that was really helpful. So I just wanted to share that and thank you, because if you hadn't brought that to my awareness, I wouldn't have had that experience. And then I also just want to share real quick on standing meditation. I had a kind of a experience where, I know it's like the feeling, I've had a feeling where like, you're riding on the horse, but I thought I did, but today it felt like in standing meditation and just feeling the 9 pearls, like my feet felt super bow-legged. And in the past, that's felt not good to feel bow-legged, but today it felt really good to feel bow-legged. And and then it felt like my legs were squeezing like a lot, like squeezing together, like I was on a horse. And it really felt like I was like squeezing the horse, but it felt really pleasurable. And then it felt like it was like pumping chi up the central column. And so I'd never had an experience like that, and feeling so clearly the connection between that kind of alignment and the energy. So I just want to share that as well. So thank you so much for the teachings and the experience.
You're welcome. Yeah. Your leg, what's the word for it? Your structural system is getting stronger. That's good. Yeah. That's what you're experiencing. It's when you feel your structural system get stronger, when the chi in your leg starts feeling better, and your tendons actually start getting stronger, and your liver gets stronger, and there's enough chi stored in your tendons, in your ligament structure, you actually experience that. What you just said. And it literally feels like you're squeezing a horse between your legs, and then it pumps the energy up your spine. And so that's good.
Thank you. That's really cool. And I can feel what you're saying, because it feels like if I tried to do that before, it wouldn't have been good for me.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. It's actually, that's one of the reasons why when you're bow-legged before, it doesn't feel good. Because you don't have enough chi to support it. You don't have enough strength. So your stance needs to be higher. It's one of the reasons why Tai Chi, always says like, yeah, just go with your pace. Don't try and go low. And one of the reasons it says that is precisely because of that. And it's actually different. Like, some people can be athletic and they can go low, and it's not the same thing. And I was athletic and I could go low. And so I thought that that's what it was about. And then at some point, the chi accumulated, and then I started being able to go lower. And I was like, oh, this is different. This is a different animal. And so, yeah, it's like it's different. Like you need enough chi accumulated in your tendon ligament structure to be able to actually appreciate and feel that experience of, what we call true horse stance. And it's not that the other horse stances are not true, but horse stances, it's not that the point isn't that you're actually on in a horse stance. The point is that you feel like you're actually riding a horse. So it's not a horse stance because you're in a horse stance. It's a horse stance because you feel the horse.
That is so cool.
Yeah, right. It's like it was kind of, it's kind of funny. It's kind of like when one of my teachers said, "Oh, you think that you're in a horse stance because it's like you're in the stance. No, you're in a horse stance because you're riding on a horse."
It's so cool. So you can feel that in like a neutral, like in a Wuji stance anytime.
Yeah, actually, that's what guides your movement.
That is so cool.
So it powers it. So the feeling, in a Wuji stance, or what's the word for it? Just a regular stance, where you're just standing normally, is actually just a horse stance standing taller, and you still feel it. You actually still feel it subtly. So it's not, as clear or as strong as like when you're in a horse stance, and you're doing standing meditation, and the exaggeration helps. and then you start realizing, oh, you actually have the feel even when you don't. And it changes your tendon ligament structure, and it actually resolves a lot of the tendon issues that you have, because you have enough energy in your tendons, and the chi actually starts reforming your ligament structure. So you can literally feel your skeletal structure changing. It actually reforms, and it's like what it feels like is that it reforms around your chi structure. So
that is so cool.
Yeah, and so that's actually when a lot of the issues that you have in your structure, or your structural issues, starts resolving, because there's enough energy pumping through your structure, your ligament structure. And so like your musculature starts shifting, your ligaments are shifting, and then like you can see like day by day it's starting to shift, and like reform and reshape, realign, and you can feel your physical body. What it feels like is it becomes more and more energy. And so there are many different theories on that, meaning as in depending on the school, it's like your body is becoming more energy. And some schools, they believe that your body is becoming more light. Some schools believe that you have that experience because you're connecting more. And so it really depends on the school. And regardless as to what really is happening, the experience is that your body becomes more and more energy. And ironically, this is a funny thing, ironically, just focusing on the energy doesn't help. Actually, letting the body becoming a better vessel actually works better. So that's one of the reasons why like there's such a huge emphasis on grounding onto the physical body. And so even internal arts that have such a high emphasis on energy actually always has you ground on your physical body. You'll notice that all Taoist exercises start with shaking the body, loosening the body, relaxing the body. And even though they always talk about the body, they always say, relax, relax. And then the focus is on relaxing the body using the yi, using your mind. And as your mind directs it better, the chi, the body relaxes. And as the body relaxes, the chi flows. And so it's actually one of the reasons why they say don't ever try and push the chi, always guide with your intentions. And that's one of the reasons why the principles say your mind, your yi, your intention is the needle. And the chi is the thread that follows your mind. And the reason that the analogy exists is because, and it says that basically if you try and push the chi, it's like trying to push the thread and it bunches up. And so it says that don't let your emphasis be on the chi, because the chi is fun, like your energy, when you feel it, it's like really cool. But as the body becomes a better vessel for the energy starts naturally flowing more. And as that happens, your body starts becoming more and more like energy. And that's a pretty cool phenomenon, actually. So you start feeling your body glows more and becomes brighter. And then ironically, other people start commenting on how you glow. And you're like, huh? And so at first you kind of feel like it's actually just happening because like it kind of like, at first I was thinking that was actually happening because it's just something psychological, right? It's like, like my body feels better, so it kind of feels like it's more glowing because there's more chi. But then other people start noticing it too, so they start making, and it's kind of interesting because whether it's psychological or whatever it is, there's a corroboration that happens where when you feel really bright, like to yourself, then other people comment on you being bright. And so whether it's a mind beehive thing or whether it actually happens, there's actually a common experience that actually happens out of that experience. So, but anyways, kind of the whole thing started with just commenting on this tendon structure. But yeah, like the more you ground into your body and the better the body becomes, more and more relaxed and stronger it becomes, and well trained it becomes, and better aligned it becomes, the more you actually have that kind of experience, and the more you have that experience of the chi power in the body, and then actually the more you have that experience, the more energetic experience you have. And actually that ties into what you talked about, the heavenly experience. And part of the practice, as you said, is actually to feel the heavenly stars and the astrology. And it's kind of day to day, you mind the stars, you just feel them. And you can choose certain stars to actually do a practice. It depends on the school. Or you can actually just feel the astrological phenomena and how it feels. And when enough energy accumulates, where the energy becomes more and more apparent, and where your sensitivity goes up or your awareness goes up, depending on how you want to word it, you start feeling the energy, the subtle energies. And whether this actually happens or not, is besides the point. What is, to me, the point is, it raises the quality of your life, because your life becomes more mysterious. Your life just starts filling with wonder, and you start having more and more mystical experiences, and you can feel more and more subtle energies, and feeling more and more subtle energies is actually the power, because it's like everything comes alive. So, it's like I actually also have that experience daily where I feel the stars, and I feel that actually kind of guiding me. It's kind of really interesting because I feel it's better than actually reading the astrological charts, because you feel it. And actually, some people who are sensitive, they'll talk about, oh, you can really feel it. And, even without reading it, it kind of feels like you're directly reading the stars yourself, because you can feel what's in the air, if you will. It's like, and, it's uncommon where you have the experience of people suffering just on the whole. Like, it seems like everyone is not doing good. And you kind of start, or everyone is doing good. And you start actually having a better understanding of that. You kind of feel it actually before the day starts. And so these are some of the things that happen. But again, I always say, I'm gonna close with the saying, you can't have that be the goal. If you chase after those things, it just brings misery. Just relax, enjoy the energy, let it fill your vessel or your body. And as it happens, the rest, just happens. You just become more and more authentic, because the more you relax, the more connected you feel. The more connected you feel, the more authentic you can be. And the more authentic you can be, the fuller life you have, because you're having your own life instead of feeling like you're living a life that you're supposed to live. You start living the life that you want to live, or that feels authentic to you, instead of actually feeling like you have to live a certain standard or live a certain should. So I think naturally just makes a difference. Okay, so thank you for sharing that.
Thank you so much. That was really helpful for me. The explanation made the connection. I think like how the body and the energy are related. That was a lot clearer. So, and then all the other aspects. So thank you very much, Master.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I found that people who like energy typically like to not bother with the body.
Maybe,
And, yeah.
perhaps.
I wasn't saying that, that was your case, Shifu. I was just saying in general.
I know.
And so, but, I think that one of the things that happens is because oftentimes people who have a high energetic sensitivity oftentimes have had some difficulties, such as trauma or difficult childhoods or illnesses that they've had to overcome. And when that happens, naturally the body's uncomfortable and you don't want to stay there. And so you escape and you become more, and because of the pain, you're more sensitive anyways. And so because of that, oftentimes the only escape, or one of the few escapes in life, is energy. And so, it makes sense. But then I feel that oftentimes people don't realize that there's a limitation as to how much you can deal with that, because it has to be grounded before you can really feel the kind of energy we want to feel. And so that's actually one of the main reasons I actually kind of want to say that, because I feel compassion for the people who go through that. I was one of them. And so oftentimes we don't realize that somehow we have to find the safety to feel our bodies again. And until we can actually do that, we can't experience actually the fullness of the wonder that we want to experience. And I feel that that information is not so explicit, and it's taught everywhere. Any school that teaches Tai Chi or any school that teaches any Qigong actually is founded upon that principle. But I feel that the emphasis goes towards the energy because it's mysterious and people don't realize that they're chasing after the wrong thing to actually really get to where they want to get to. So, okay. Oh.
Thank you, Master.
Welcome. Okay, I'm getting close to the end of my cleaning. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to share in closing or comment on or ask any questions? Very good. Okay. You all have a great day of cultivation and training and riding the waves of the universe. And just have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Master Kim. You too.
Thank you, Master Kim.
Awesome. Welcome. Welcome.